Okay, so I have started recording. So again, this is, well, I should say, even though we talked before, but this is supposed to be recording facing all students. So welcome to Environmental Engineering 2022. This is going to be a tough, semester for all of us. And most of us, even though I've done some online teaching and some of you have done some online learning, but this is going to be a new uncharted waters for most of us. Well, before I start the formal presentation, I've got a little survey for all my new students on the screen. Can you please record this URL and just fill in based on which program you're enrolled in? This will let me know a little bit more about my student. Okay, so now we will go into the formal presentation. And as I mentioned before, this session will be recorded for educational purposes for other students who could not attend this session because of the faulty link before. Engineering program and what to expect to work in the to do after the graduation, but since we have less than 30 minutes for this session due to the faulty link, I will not go into the detail of those things, and rather want to spend a little bit more time on the curriculum, which is probably more interesting to you. And this is just a slide saying for environmental engineering, apart from the technical skills you often need to develop as part of any engineering discipline, we often need skills that require to assist decision making. Okay, those, because environmental engineering, apart from designs, different from designing a bridge or a building in civil engineering, we often need to conduct evaluation, monitoring work, assessment, help with short-term and long-term planning to considering environmental aspect. So for example, water resource engineering, and ecosystems and environmental impact assessment, and any water plans of the government, state, local, or federal government. So it requires not only the underpinning principles of the discipline, but also critical thinking, systems thinking, and understanding of sustainability, and also use an integrated approach. I think some of you, if you will do the systems modeling and design subject, we will try to teach some of these skills in that subject, or some of you already did it. Okay, so now I want to talk about the curriculum of these two different environmental engineering programs. First of all, the 3-year program, this is a fully accredited program by Engineers Australia, which is open for students who are not qualified engineers, which means after completing this program, you will be a qualified engineer to practice in Australia, basically. However, on the other hand, the 1-year Master of Environmental Engineering program is not an accredited program, rather it's a professional engineering program. What that means is it's open to existing engineers. You already have an engineering qualification and you want to upskill environmental engineering field. So that's what it's for. Now, the 3-year environmental engineering program, you need to complete 200 points of core in blue, 37.5 points of selective, which are in green, and 6. So that's the recommended subjects you need to extend in each year. This is for the first year. So basically, you need to finish, complete 6 core subjects and 2 selectives. Just be mindful, this is for the full 3-year program. Many of you, especially if you've gone through the pathway program within the Melbourne model, you will have done all of this already for the first year. You will basically start from the 2nd year. Any student coming from outside University of Melbourne, you often will receive some advanced standing or credit for from your previous study if you are qualified, which means some of the subjects already you don't need to do it anymore. So you will typically do 2.5 years rather than 3 years. Right, this is the first year, and the second year, basically, you have 7 core subjects and 1 elective subjects. All of these are in the handbook. You don't really need to take note. And in the final year, you can say, depending on which selective subjects, the grade 1 you do, you will have either 1 core subject in the first semester, 2 in the second semester, or actually you have either 2 elective each semester or 3 elective in the first and only 1 in the second, depending on which selective you do. And the core subjects are the same, you have to take. So from this semester, all 3-year engineering program students have to do that 12 months research subject. Basically, instead of having a 25 credit research project within 1 semester, which is equivalent to 2 subjects in 1 semester, you have to do your research across a 1-year period of time. I think this might be different for the 1-year program. You are eligible to do a research project, 25 credits within 1 semester. However, you need to contact the subject coordinator to confirm your enrollment and in which semester. So, yeah, as I mentioned, this depends on which selective you take. And then you take 62.5 engineering electives from environmental engineering, freshwater environments, coastal environments, engineering environments, or energy systems. So all those elective subjects I will not show you over here. They are all available online. So I mentioned there are credits awarded for some of the core and some of the elective, depending on what you've done before. So another thing you need to be careful is a prerequisite requirement when you select your subjects. There are certain subjects have to be done in sequence. Okay, so this is a 1-year program. So you basically need to select 50 points of core, 37.5 points of selective from 1 theme, and then 12.5 electives, so 1 elective. That's the core subjects, which are the same for all students. And then you select 3 subjects from each of those themes. And then the last one is free. You can select from any approved elective. But there are students who, for example, coming from energy background, they want to do more in energy. However, they find actually there's certain things they've already learned. They want to select a subject from different stream. This is completely fine, but you will need to send me your study plan to seek my approval, because you have to fill in a variation of enrollment form. So that's all the other electives you can select from. Again, they are all available online. So this is a table showing you the sequencing of certain subjects. I don't need to take notes because this is recorded. I will repeat for the student who will watch the recording as well. This is all wrong. This is from 2 years ago. I can't be bothered to update it. I show you over here because I just want to show you the complexity of the sequencing. When you select your subjects, you need to be careful at the beginning, from the very beginning, because otherwise, by the last semester, you say, I want to do this subject, and you find out, I have to go back to do another subject 2 years ago. You want to do this subject. Okay, otherwise, you may have to select an additional subject, and your graduation may be delayed. So just be careful with the prerequisite requirement. And remember, information showing here is out of date from 2 years ago. Okay, so there's one thing I want to discuss with you, which is very important from semester 1 next year. We are going through significant changes. It started from maybe last year. So environmental engineering is developing a new curriculum, which will kick in from semester 1, 2021. And the electives will kick in from 2022. But since you are enrolled in this semester, do any subject from the old curriculum as well as from the new curriculum. So you have an option, right? But from students who enroll from next semester, they will have to go through the new curriculum. That's why for you, this is mainly for information. There are few changes will impact you I want to present over here. First of all, biotransport processes, which runs, its core subjects runs in semester 1 will become unavailable from next year. So you will not be able to do this subject if you haven't done it this year. It will be replaced by a sustainable water system subject. That's the first change will impact you. The second one is system modeling and design is civil and environmental engineering co-delivered subject has been like this in the past many years. But from next year, there will be an environmental version of this subject available running in semester 2. For new students enrolling from next year, they have to take this environmental version. However, for you, it's up to you which one you take. Just remember the current one, CVN 30010, is a civil and engineering subject, is civil and environmental combined. And the new subject will be environmental only. So the current one has a large component of geotechnical engineering in it. So it's up to you which one you want to do. But if you don't want to disrupt your study plan because the new one is only available in semester 2, you are free to select this one in semester 1 as well. So that's the major changes. Now, enrollment. So I mentioned advanced standing. If you're qualified for advanced standing additional credit, that should have been already assessed during admission process. We will generally not grant advanced standing after you're already enrolled unless mistakes have been made. Okay, and the changing subjects, as I mentioned, for each of the programs, there are a set of subjects you need to take. Core subjects you will have to take, but the elective or selectives, if there are anything you believe suits your needs that's not available over there, or for the 1-year program student, you want to select subjects from different streams to mix and match. And as long as you have a reason you can justify, and please send me your study plan, and you need my approval to do that. Timetabling. So timetabling has been an issue over the past few years because of the limited physical spaces we have, and there are often clashes of timetable. The university even developed a YouTube video to teach you how to handle that. But from this semester, since we are all moving online, I think this issue has also not completely resolved, but perhaps not as bad. So depending on what your circumstances are, students often take those subjects or the components of subjects that are not recorded. Right. For example, lectures are always recorded. It's not like I encourage you to not to attend lectures. However, if you have a tutorial and the lecture clashes, and you know the tutorial is not recorded and it's very important for your understanding of the subject, you may want to attend the tutorial rather than lecture, right? So, but it's a decision you have to make if there are clashes in your timetable. But I think this year, we've got a lot of workshop and tutorial sessions running after hours because they are all running online. So this one hopefully will not be too many clashes. And this is just additional information from step 1, telling you how to do all those things online because you can't physically visit step 1 anymore, but they are still there to help you. So study differences for any of you, I don't know if you are all from the English or American system, which are similar, but we have a large number of students coming from Asian countries, from developing countries. They have a very different study system. from here, there is more structured. I'll say all your time are kind of allocated with tasks. But over here, even though you are given perhaps like 48 hours contact hour for per subject during a week, you are expected to invest a lot more time into that subject. For undergraduate subject, normally the requirement is 170 hours minimum per semester, and for master level subject, it's about 200 hours. Because apart from the contact hours, you have unscheduled class time, like self-study, homework time you need to do, and the reading you need to do, and also self-based research online. And there are often group works which involves group discussion. They all happen outside those contact hours. And on top of that, the writing style over here is probably different from many people from like Asian countries. We need to, how does I say, present, we say it's argumentative writing style, which means you present your statement with justifications. Most of the writing, you can't just say what it is. And you often need to say why it is that, how you arrive at the conclusion, and back up with references. So references, if you are not familiar with that, I think library has a session that can help you with that. And the grading style is different as well. So I think, oops. So this is a testimony from a student from Germany a couple of years back. So it just shows you for most of the engineering subjects over here, H1 really means you've done a very, very excellent job, right? So it's different. It might be very different from your home country where there are 50%, 60%, or even more people get 80% and plus. But over here is a lot rare. I had students before who got 76 and the basic panics, think he hasn't done a great job. But the reason I'm showing this one over here is actually 76 is pretty good, I would say, based on our standard. It's very rare you have H1 over here. So examination is at the end of the semester. The university normally has a timetable for the exams, and you need to basically follow the university timetable, and you need to remain in, oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Previously, I would tell students you need to remain in Melbourne for the entire exam period because of the special exams, but actually now it doesn't apply this semester because it's going to be online anyway. But you need to be aware after the exam is not all finished, there will be special exam as well. And there are other things I think are being given over in terms of plagiarism. Working in a group, I will not probably spend too much time. Rather, I will skip through those slides and show you where you can go to find those information. Because we have reduced time for this session, I really want to give you some time to ask questions. Okay, so this is just showing you there a series of industrial presentation series organized by Melbourne School of Engineering to improve your learning experience. And you can get all of this information online, so I don't want to repeat that. And the final is step 1 is one place you need to contact in terms of your enrollment, in terms of your variation of subjects, or in terms of anything that's related to your life over here. So that's all the services step 1 will provide. So previously, they had 2 physical locations where you can go in person. And now I believe this year is all online. So you can call them and you can go through the university website. Okay, so I will not continue talking. Rather, I would like to give you some time to ask questions. Do you have any questions?
I have a question just on, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, let's go. I'm just showing you the location or the services you can find online.
Okay. Yeah, I just had a question on the research project.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to be finishing my course after semester 1. Like I only have 2 more years left. So I can take part 1 during semester 2 and then part 2 during semester 1. Is that okay? During my last semester?
You saying you have 2 years left?
Yeah, so I'll be finishing the course at the end of semester 1 of 2022. So I'm just wanting to make sure.
So yes, that's right. You can take part 1 in semester 2, 2021, and then part 2 in semester 1, 2022. Yes, okay. That's right. So they need to be finished in the final year of your study.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Any other questions? No, all good? Okay, so what I'll do, I will just finish the slides. Oh, this is something I want to talk about, special consideration, right? So if you have unexpected circumstances, which is quite often nowadays, with all those lockdown, everything, you can apply for special consideration for within 4 days of your final exam. So if you say that I wasn't doing, well during my exam because I was sick, or there anything I couldn't sit my original exam, then you will be granted a special exam. Or if you are in the final semester of your study and you fail your examination, and then you will be granted a special exam to give you an additional opportunity to pass the subject without delaying your graduation. On the other hand, if you have ongoing special circumstances, like some students may have health issues or mental health, physical health, which affect their study from time to time. And you can also apply for ongoing special consideration, which will give you extension for your assignments for up to 10 days. Okay, so all those things can be done through this university system. You can book equity and disability service. You can book appointment with them if you want to know more. Okay, so if you have no more questions, and I will go to the final thing I would like to discuss with you, which is a student mentoring program. So what we've done from last year is we started a student group mentoring program for environmental engineering students. So the students need to sign up voluntarily, first of all, and then you will be grouped into groups based on your experience and how long you've been at the university, what you try to achieve, and then assign an academic mentor. Okay, so you will get to know more students within engineering, your class, and also you will be assigned an academic mentor who will have group meetings with you and perhaps one-to-one meetings at your request to help you to, with your study life at the University of Melbourne, at Melbourne in general. So this program started last year. We kicked it off with an International Food Day event. However, this year, because of the lockdown and social distancing, we will not be able to have any social gathering as a start of this program. However, we still would like to run this program. So this is the sign-up form for this program. If you are interested, please note down and then fill in that form. And the deadline is 15th of August 2020. And I will also ask Hai, so our admin assistant, to send the student an email with this link as well. So more students, you can see there are only 4 of you over here today, but the other students can also say it and sign up. And then I will put all the students into groups and assign an academic mentor from the environmental engineering group. and then the academic will contact you within 2 to 3 weeks. Just to get you academic contact on campus where you can seek help if you need to. And also how to create an opportunity for you to know more of your peers. Because there are quite often something we probably don't know, your peers will know, especially if they've already done a subject, like Alec has done the civil engineering version of environmental system modeling and design. Maybe you can ask him about the subject and ask for advice either way. And the students sometimes know more about those typical subjects than I do. Okay, so now I will stop the recording. And just let me